Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Hello, we're very excited to see you back with us this week for another Explore Tulsa. Stevie, are you ready for the Super Bowl?
Heck yeah! I got my eyes checked at Dr. Zellner so I could catch all the action on my new 4K Sony flat screen and theater sound from Video Revolution. It'll be just like I'm at Levi Stadium in California, Trish.
I love our sponsors as much as you do, but don't you think you went a little over the top with your shameless plug?
Well, I thought about coming in, like the old Spice guy. I'm on a horse.
We're glad you didn't. So let's talk about our first guest, Vanessa Clark. Not only is she Mrs. Tulsa County, but she also has a very inspiring story.
Now this girl deserves a Super Bowl trophy all of her own. She's got 5 kids, she's gorgeous, and wrote a book that is very inspiring about her family's miracle from God.
I got a Facebook request or message from someone I'd never met before, not a friend on Facebook, and she introduced herself as a pageant coach. The coach who had coached the last Mrs. Oklahoma to become Mrs. America. And she said she had one scholarship to give away, and she thought that I would be a great candidate. I met her that weekend, went to her office, and she just wanted to hear about me. So I told her about my family, told her about my values, told her what I like to do. And at the very end, I came and I told her, I usually don't tell people right away. I said, by the way, I have a son, and he was actually born completely blind, and God healed him. At 6 weeks, we were at a wedding with a family. Everyone saw him, everyone loved him, no red flags, went to all the well baby checkups, no red flags. And then at 12 weeks, we went to another family wedding, and at this time, my son's eyes had picked up an unnatural movement. They call it nystagmus. We didn't know this at the time, where they would just scan. Well, my aunt, who's a pediatrician in California, she immediately was concerned and said, you need to take him to the doctor. The doctor couldn't figure out what was going on. He said his eyes checked out great. This is our pediatrician. But then he was still concerned, and I could tell stumped. So we were referred to a pediatric ophthalmologist, and he did an exam on my son, and he told me at the end of the exam, he said, you need to call your husband and have him come here. And I told him, no, my husband's working. My husband is very busy. And he just looked at me and he said, no, you need to get him here now. And I knew at that point that it was a big deal. The doctor just simply told us that our son didn't have any vision. He wouldn't have any vision. My husband immediately, he's always trying to fix things. So he wanted to know what therapy we could do, if there's eye surgery, what they were working on, what we needed to do. And the doctor just said, there's nothing you can do. Well, I just remember after they said Aubrey was blind, just feeling numb. And in my mind, just going over and over was, why was this man born blind? Why was this man born blind? So I found the scripture and it said, why was this man born blind? Was it for the sins of his parents or his own? And Jesus replied to him, neither. He was born this way so that my glory might be shown. And I just wept. Just wept. It was so personal. God saying, you didn't do this to your son. This is not your fault. And also him saying, I allowed this to happen because I'm going to show my glory. And for me, I knew you're going to heal him. That's 100% what it was. You're going to heal. And I just held on to that. But every day I would check to see, are you seeing? And you can't, the baby can't talk. You can't really know yet. And then you realize, okay, he's not tracking anything. It was my mom's black and white shirt that first made me think, I think he's looking at that. I laid him on his back. I was packing for a trip. We were going to Destin, Florida the next day. And it had been my daughter's birthday party that day where my mom was wearing the shirt. And I held up a black and white shirt that I had, and I laid him on his back, and I moved the shirt over him like this. And his eyes were moving, so I couldn't tell, but his head moved to track the shirt, and I knew he was seeing. I talked to the receptionist and scheduled an appointment to go back. And it was confirmed that he definitely is seeing. He said he's still legally blind, still will never drive a car, never ride a bike. He's still less than 2,200, but yes, he is seeing now. And so it just kept progressing and progressing and progressing, little by little. And now my son is 8 years old and he sees 20/50 in each of his eyes. All I know is that my son was blind completely blind. I prayed that God would heal him. God sent us someone to tell us that he was going to be healed, and now he can see. I don't know how he did it, but that's it. And she started to cry right there, and she goes, "You're supposed to do this pageant, and that's supposed to be your platform." And I knew she was right. I knew 100%. My whole purpose behind it is I see it as a way to bring hope to the hurting. That's really my message. And I want people to know you need to keep crying out to God in those situations, because he hears every prayer, counts every tear, and he is leading you. And that's what I want people to know. That really is the message, and the reason why I'm doing the pageant is to get that out there.